President Donald Trump said he respects Vladimir Putin, and when an interviewer called the Russian leader a killer, Trump said the United States has many of them. "What do you think? Our country is so innocent," he told Fox's Bill O'Reilly in an excerpt released by the network. The president's interview was to air Sunday afternoon in the Super Bowl pregame show. Trump has long expressed a wish for better ties with Moscow, praised Putin and signaled that U.S.-Russia relations could be in line for a makeover, even after U.S. intelligence agencies determined that Russia meddled in the 2016 U.S. presidential campaign to help Trump win against Democrat Hillary Clinton. Putin has called Trump a very bright and talented man. During Putin's years in power, a number of prominent Russian opposition figures and journalists have been killed. In the interview, Trump says, "I do respect him," and then is asked why. "I respect a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get along with him. He's a leader of his country. I say it's better to get along with Russia than not. And if Russia helps us in the fight against ISIS, which is a major fight, and Islamic terrorism all over the world, that's a good thing," Trump said, using an acronym for the Islamic State group. "Will I get along with him? I have no idea." O'Reilly then said about Putin, "But he's a killer, though." "Putin's a killer," Trump responded. "There are a lot of killers. We've got a lot of killers. What do you think? Our country is so innocent." In the excerpt, Trump did not cite specific U.S. actions. It was unclear whether he expanded on the comment or added context later in the interview. "I don't think there's any comparison," said Senator Amy Klobuchar, on ABC's This Week. "I really do resent that he would say something like that," she said. The Kremlin had no immediate comment on Trump's interview. The Senate's top Republican, Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, distanced himself from the president. "Putin's a former KGB agent. He's a thug. He was not elected in a way that most people would consider a credible election. The Russians annexed Crimea, invaded Ukraine and messed around in our elections. And no, I don't think there's any equivalency between the way the Russians conduct themselves and the way the United States does," McConnell told CNN's State of the Union. While saying he would not critique every utterance by Trump, McConnell said he thinks America's exceptional. "America is different. We don't operate in any way the way the Russians do. I think there's a clear distinction here that all Americans understand, and no, I would not have characterized it that way. I obviously don't see this issue the same way he does," McConnell said. Senator Ben Sasse said he had seen the video clips of Trump's remarks and suggested there may be a broader context. But Sasse made clear on ABC that he thinks there is no moral equivalency between the U.S. and the murderous thugs that are in Putin's defense of his cronyism. O'Reilly also asked Trump to back up his claims that some 3 million to 5 million illegal votes were cast in the election. Trump didn't answer directly, but asserted that immigrants in the U.S. illegally and dead people are on the voter rolls. "It's really a bad situation. It's really bad," Trump said. "There is no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the November 8 election." Trump won the Electoral College vote but lost the popular vote by nearly 2.9 million votes to Clinton. Trump recently announced on Twitter that he would call for a major investigation into voter fraud, but the plan for Trump to take some type of executive action on the issue has been delayed, senior administration officials said last week. McConnell, meanwhile, said such an investigation should be handled by the states, which historically have been the ones to probe such allegations. "There's no evidence that it occurred in such a significant number that would have changed the presidential election, and I don't think we ought to spend any federal money investigating that," McConnell told CNN. "I think the states can take a look at this issue." The Trump administration on Thursday revised recent U.S. sanctions that had unintentionally prevented American companies from exporting certain consumer electronic products to Russia. The change allows companies to deal with Russia's security service, which licenses such exports under Russian law. The products were not intended to be covered by the sanctions the Obama administration imposed on December 29 after U.S. intelligence agencies concluded that Russia interfered in the presidential election. The White House denied it was easing sanctions. Also last week, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley condemned Russia's aggressive actions in eastern Ukraine and warned Moscow that U.S. sanctions imposed after its annexation of Crimea will remain until the peninsula is returned to Ukraine. But she tempered her criticism, saying it was unfortunate that she had to condemn Russia in her first appearance at the UN Security Council. "We do want to better our relations with Russia," Haley said from McClatchydc.com. Please comment below and share this news. And feel free to sign up now for the News Exposed newsletter to get breaking exposed news, and more, delivered straight to your inbox. It's News Exposed signing off.